Hello everyone, Railgan here again today to talk to you about the multiplayer major design changes that Blizzard published in August 2017. Blizzard made quite a few changes, or rather is planning to make quite a few changes and publish them to the test map, and today I want to talk to you about them a little bit. I already made another small video where I talked about the changes before they were published. Somebody leaked them and most of them came true, but by now I was actually able to test the changes on the balanced test map, played quite a couple games and also uploaded some videos of that to my channel, so now I can give you guys a little bit more of my thoughts and more in depth. So first of all, the economy change. They made it so the larger mineral nodes have more minerals and the gas is a little bit more gas. I'm not sure how much this is really going to change because they do not change the smaller mineral nodes, and I still need to take a really fast fourth base to even stay alive. A third base, if I get my third base denied, I'm pretty much dead to begin with as a third player, because I need the larva, I need to get the insects and all the hatcheries so I can actually spend my money. If you watch my stream, you will oftentimes see that I just flat out die if I can't get a third base up, and just because I cannot spend my money. And if I can't get a fourth base up and my main starts to mine out, I really need to transfer those 8 drones to my fourth base. But yeah, I guess it's a nice gesture, but it really doesn't do anything at all in my opinion. I mean, it does something, but it's like practically useless. Then last year Terran had a major update to its mech arsenal, so they redesigned a lot of things now. First of all, the mule can now harvest Vespene gas from refineries. They harvest 10 gas per trip and 20 minerals per trip instead of 25. So first of all, they can harvest gas. I don't mind. I really don't mind because it's mostly going to help mech. Bio doesn't use that much gas, but maybe we'll see more Liberator focus. Maybe we'll see more of a bio-mech composition with all the added gas that Terran can now have. They can prioritize mining gas a lot more, but nowadays Bio-Terran doesn't mine gas anyways, and after like the third base it just stopped mining gas altogether, I think. Just goes marine tank with mostly marines and marauders. Mule harvest 10 gas. 10 gas I think is an okay number. And they harvest 20 minerals per trip instead of 25. I like that small nerf because the gas could be a pretty hefty buff. Mules are somewhat ridiculous to begin with. Like in a lot of games they feel like a way too strong comeback mechanism. I like that they get changed a little bit, but we will see. I think this is an okay change, especially with all the other buffs that Terran gets. Talking about buffs, the Raven gets a new ability. Scrambler missile can disable mech units' weapon and abilities for a short time. I use this ability quite a lot because, for example, if you put it on a Colossus and the Colossus A moved, it just walked right into my army. Like it walks where the A move button, point is set, so it will walk into the army and things like that. Really cool ability. I think units also can't drop if you put the Scrambler missile on them and things like that, so this ability will see a lot of play. I think it might be a little bit too strong against certain Protoss units, and even like against tanks, shuts down tanks so hard on such a long range. Really not sure about this one. It feels really strong, but obviously as a third player it does not affect me that much, but ability is insane. Repair drone. It actually does a lot of healing as well. I only used it a little bit when I played mech. What is very important is that the repairing is free, so you put on one repair drone and it heals for like almost a minute, is what it feels like. All the one unit at a time in a very small area, but can be used to heal up your mech army for free at home. You don't need to waste your resources on healing, and even in battles I think it heals more than like a Hydralisk does damage and stuff, so repair drone is definitely gonna be useful and will definitely see play if the Raven sees play, which I think it will. Shredder missile, this one doesn't quite... This is the ability that I'm not really a big fan of. Like it costs a lot of energy, does very little damage and reduces the armor. For those of you who don't know, Terran had an ability in the Legacy of the Void beta called the ghost, whatever drone, armor piercing drone, I don't know what it was. But it reduced the armor of Zerg units to counteract the new overpowered Ultralisk back then, because Terran couldn't beat the Ultralisk. The Ultralisk did eventually get nerfed, so they can now finally beat them. And yeah, the AoE feels pretty small to me, the blast radius. It's like a way worse Shredder missile, because instead of doing the 100 splash damage, it only does 30, and it reduces the armor by 3, so it's like a lot worse than the Seeker missile, but Seeker missile also felt a bit ridiculous at times, so I like the change, but I feel like the Shredder missile is not going to be used much because it's just too weak. Way too weak. But yeah, it's intended to stack less efficiently with itself compared to the Seeker missile, but it will be more of a combo ability to use with core units. Or with the Cyclone, maybe late game, I don't know if you landed on Ultras, but in the past, like, the damage used to be insane. Like a couple of Seeker missiles and the Zerg army was gone. This change about the Widowmine, that it's now revealed, I think that's gonna make, it's gonna help Zerg in with Lingbane Muta definitely. Against Protoss, the Widowmine drop is going to die out a little bit if the change does go through. Because it will be a lot easier to clean up, and it also means that Protoss doesn't need to open up with a quick robo or have like an Oracle at home to reveal the Widowmine all the time. Against Terran, Widowmines don't really see much play to begin with, I believe. And against Zerg, the Widowmine drops might stop happening, but I'm not sure. I think Widowmine drops are still viable against Zerg, because they usually try to pick up the Widowmine afterwards again anyways, and yeah. We can always just build a Spore and be fine. So I don't think the change will affect the early game Zerg a lot, but in the mid game, with the Widowmine pushes, it's definitely gonna be a huge change. All in all, not sure if I like the change, but I think it's a good change. We will see how it plays out. Cloak is now available by default on Ghosts. Ghosts start with 50 energy and they get that energy upgrade. So I did play against a Terran who went for a Ghost Rush on Abyssal Reef, that was, and also played a bit of Ghost Rush myself. It might actually force Protoss to get that early game detection out. Ghosts are definitely easier to get out now in the mid game. Like if you just want to get the ghosts out, you don't need to wait for the cloak upgrade. You can just use them, for example, against Protoss and try to land that EMP. You still need the energy, of course. But I feel like this is a good change. I just hope that the ghost rushes are not gonna be insane or like too strong. Ghost rushes could be dangerous, but we will see how that plays out. Overall, good change. Liberator no longer gains bonus vision when using Defender mode, now gains vision on its target location. Not sure how the Liberator vision used to work. I assume they wouldn't... I'm not sure if they actually saw the... like with the upgrade, if they actually saw the circle, if it was as far away as possible. I don't know. This is insane. Instead of getting a flat vision increase, the still fire unsupported. I don't know. Not sure. Not sure about this change, but I think it makes sense. I mean, it definitely makes sense, but I'm not sure what the bonus vision was. The Cyclone change, it now shoots 4 missiles very quickly as soon as it locks on, so Cyclone will be a little bit better anti-air, but overall in the long term it will not be that much stronger. And then you also have the upgrade that adds +2 armor damage for each missile lock on. I'm not sure. Like, I played against Cyclone and I still didn't really care much about their anti-air, but maybe, I don't know. Maybe it will affect Protoss, like the Oracle, because you just go like 4 very, very quick shots to do a little bit of burst damage. Because your units usually get away from the Cyclone, something like that. I don't know. And the smart servos, Hellion Elbet transformation is reduced heavily. This is an insane upgrade. Like, you just see 4 Hellions drive into your mineral line, go whoop, 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 whoop. Like they just come in, everything is dead, and leave again to the next space. Just goes boop, 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 boop. I don't know. Guess we'll have to see. I like it that it changes the Viking and the 4, but the Hellion helmet. Well, I mean, I guess you can still deal with it. You just have to catch the Hellions beforehand. But now, like, I attack the Hellion with 10 links. It just goes, and all my links are gone. I'm like, oh, calm down. You know, no. I don't know. I don't know about that change. But yeah, we will see. I mean, it costs a bit of money, so. Mothership mothership core removed. Thank God. This is the change we've all been waiting for, right? Chrono Boost. Chrono Boost is insane. Like it creates workers like in 8 seconds now because it doubles the production time. It's gonna open up a lot of really hefty timings. And I think it's gonna be scary, but I think Protoss will actually have to Chrono Boost out a unit in the beginning to defend. Because they're now very weak, and it's definitely, at least in my opinion, almost impossible to deal with 19 drone roach timing sort of thing. Like the roach link timing that I have, I've not seen a Protoss hold that. Seems very hard, but you know, we will see how it plays out. Chrono Boost. Chrono Boost, very strong. Mastery Call, you can fly with the mothership into the opponent's space. Mastery Call, and the mothership can still move while you Mastery Call, and then you can be like, my army goes here! Never mind, here! And then all your units are there. Cool, dangerous. Just gather base trade, gather all your probes, Mastery Call them to another base. Attack with your army, Mastery Call everything home while your mothership is on the other side of the map. Yeah, shield recharge, I don't know. 1 energy per 3 shields. I think it's gonna help Protoss a lot in the early game with harassment, at least. Like early game harassment, your units will live a lot longer, but it also costs energy. We will see. We will see. Can also be cast in structure, so maybe on cannons, I don't know, we'll see. Then the Stalker buff. Stalkers do a lot more damage, but they attack a lot slower. And they scale better with upgrades overall, I think. Dangerous change. Very dangerous. But they had to make Protoss early game stronger, but Blink Stalkers could make a comeback, you know. Blink Stalkers are a dangerous unit. They're now gonna deal 21 damage to a roach per shot. They shoot pretty slowly, but the damage is there, and I went for a Cyclone against Stalkers and I crapped my bed. Because you can kite better, you know? Like you can shoot, run, shoot, run, shoot, run, shoot, instead of shoot, run, you know? Disruptor change, I don't really get the Warp Prism change here, because the Purification Nova now explodes instantly if a unit is in the center. So I guess if you just drop the Disruptor in the center of the mineral line and shoot the Nova, the workers are dead immediately. I guess that's why they made that. The Disruptors don't take damage from their own Nova, I believe. I'm pretty sure, so I guess that is why that change exists. And damage is reduced a little bit. Yeah, it's mostly reduced against Protoss. Blizzard was like, yeah, we will have to reduce the damage of the Disruptor. 135 damage. Sir, units still die in 1 shot. We don't care. I'm like, And we're gonna reduce the cooldown, You know what, we're gonna make the Disruptor still one-shot all your units, but it will now explode if a unit is in the center and it has a lower cooldown. I'm like, what? Blizzard. Can you hear me, Blizzard? Don't do that. Stupid change. Disruptor is a stupid unit. What the fuck? Now, next change. Colossus. The good old Colossus As mentioned in previous updates, wanted to take another look. Damage change from 12 to 10 and a little bit more against light, so it's gonna be less good against Trojan, really good against Sling Hydra. Really good against Sling Hydra. Like, Lings are gonna die super quickly. Marines as well. Marines. The extended thermal lens. Colossus just got buffed overall. Even Swarmos. Like, I'm kind of scared for my poor little Locust against Colossi now. But yeah. It's a consistent anti-light armor roll. Anti-light armor. Get it? Armored and light armored. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like this is a dangerous change, like buffing the Colossus. Protoss already has the Archon, which does really well against light units, because they usually clump up. Don't think you need to buff the Colossus. Colossus already sees play anyways. And this is also a really big change. This goes from 12 to 15. It starts with one more range, and the upgrade cost is reduced, and it gets more damage per upgrade. So if you get like +1, Lings are gonna die. Does a Ling have 35 HP? I don't know. Lings are gonna die in 2 shots anyways, right? 30, 60 damage. For 3 shots. Kill a Hydra with +1. Dangerous. Interceptor cost. Thank God, don't need to talk about this much. Carriers are ridiculous. Thank you for buffing. High Templar, I don't mind this change. It means that High Templar will no longer walk to their death. Good change. Could use the same for Infestors, just a small little attack so they don't immediately die. But we can burrow our units, so it's a little bit different. Mothership can now be built directly from the Nexus. Along can cast Foot and Overcharge. Mothership change, so it's, well, I don't know. I kind of talked about the Mothership change when I talked about Mastery Call. I think it's a good change as well. It's a good change, will open up more areas of play. And the Observer Surveillance mode, so you can now F2A move with Protoss even harder. I mean, Circ gets the same treatment. I don't really mind this. It's really obvious when the Observer is in surveillance mode, because you see like this ring around it. I'm not sure if they should remove that, because it kind of makes it too easy to see the Observer, even when you don't have like a detector. And then Circ changes. Oh my god. Now this is where things get rough, right? Fungal growth radius increased from 2 to 2.5. I don't quite get that. I don't quite get why they increased the radius. I think the radius is fine. It no longer hits air units. I'm one of the few people who think this is actually fine. It's fine if fungal doesn't hit air units. It's not fine for CVZ because Mutalisks are ridiculous in that matchup. It's fine against Terran and Toss though. It will make hitting carriers harder, but we can neural them, and the infested Terrans might be useful. And against Terrans, well, funneling Vikings or Liberators was a game ending for the Terrans, so I think it's okay. Then units of creep have their movement speed reduced by 50%. Why? Why? I know why. Because like if you burrow ambush Terrans with infestors and just funnel their units, like you can't do anything, you know. You always need to have detection all around when you're not even on the Sir creep, because he could be anywhere with an infestor, and that's really, really weird. I don't like that. So it's a good change. Units hit and creep are immobilized, thank God. Invested Terrans now benefit from Zerg missile and ground carapace upgrade. I like the ground one. The missile upgrade is bullshit, and here's why. The damage gets reduced by 2, and then so you need a +2 upgrade so the infested Terrans are as strong as they are now. Why exactly? Are they like, did Blizzard do internal playtest? I was like, these infested Terrans are really good now. I'm like, no, they're not. They're useless. They're slow as hell. And they now have a new anti-air weapon. I think that's insane. 14 DPS. Pew, 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 pew. long range, 14 DPS, and they spawn almost instantly on creep. We will see how this all plays out. I like the ground carapace one, but the missile upgrade is mostly just a nerf. Like, you need plus 3 damage upgrade so you actually profit from the missile upgrade. If you don't go for missile upgrades, infested turns are gonna be useless. 6 damage. Blizzard, please. Well, I mean, there used to be a time where infested turns were really OP against Protoss, so I don't know. Lurker change. New building. 100 minerals, 150 gas, 86 seconds. Could we make this? Could you make this like 50 seconds? Would that be a deal, Blizzard? So I can open with lurkers and CVC. Could we make it like anything less than 86 seconds? Because I don't want to spend 2 minutes building a lurker then and morphing a lurker and building a hydralisk just to have one unit, you know? Like in 2 minutes Protoss will tech from cybercore to carriers if they have to. And here I am trying to build a lurker, you know? You know? Blizzard. Digging Claws requires Hive. I think this upgrade could be really strong, but I'm not sure how effective late game lurkers are at the moment anyways. I don't know. I didn't really get to playtest this much. Because most people died before I got to Hive. Only used it in one game and it was really cool in that game. Didn't really use it against Protoss because I didn't face a single decent Protoss player. Yes, they exist. And against Zerg, the change, I guess it's a buff for my Hydra Lurker 2-base opener, but we will see. Yeah, I like it. I like that they changed the Lurker, that they make it a little bit more accessible, but this is just ridiculous. I know Lurker timings can be hard to stop, but please, 86 seconds? Why? Parasitic Bomb, I like this change a lot. I think the damage is a bit too high. Blizzard will probably nerf it to like 120 because 180 damage is really good. You can still send like 3 parasitic bombs into the Terran or Protoss army and they will now take a lot of damage. You can no longer fungal their units together, so the fungal parasitic bomb combo is gone, but we will see. Overseers is unable to move, so same treatment. No, well, it's mostly so you have some detection there, I guess. Didn't really use that much. And this Wormhost change, the completely ridiculous change. Why nerf their movement speed off creep so they can be easier caught? Why? It's not like I know there are people out there who are screaming for a Swarmhost nerf because they haven't yet figured out how to build Hellbats or Archon Charge Slot. But this is a spoiler warning. If you go bio and build Marines, Locusts die before they even land. If you go bio and build if you go mech and build Hellbats, the Locusts die in like 2 shots. And if you are Protoss and you build any unit, Locusts die instantly anyways. Yeah, these are my thoughts on the balance changes. Overall, I'm pretty happy with them. I love the change to Protoss, the removal of the Mothership Core. Chrono Boost could open up really strong timings. Terran has some really cool changes with the new Raven, especially in the non-Zerg matchups. The Repair Drone could be used against Zerg, of course, kind of like the new PDD. And yeah, Zerg has some weird changes with the Infestor and the strong Viper buff, the weird Swarmhost nerf, but overall I think it's good. Looking forward to how these changes play out. Thank you all for watching and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!